I think I must be a five-tool player. I mean, if you look at all the skills I needed to do what I needed to do, there's probably no skill where I'm the world's best, but the amalgamation of skills, I think I, for the most part, have. But I would argue that you can develop some of these skills. We all have different capabilities to a different extent. And I did not have any formal engineering training, and yet I can talk intelligently to engineers nowadays. I had no formal business school training, zero, but you can learn these things. So I do think if you are persistent enough and determined enough, you can flesh out your skills so that they're good enough that you can cover all the bases that enable you to build a business. Now, the CEO position is a particularly challenging position, and I do think that I embody that CEO skill set, where on any given day, you have to do something a little bit different than the day before. One day it may be all about IP. It could be patent litigation. The next day it could be all about how to run a clinical trial. The next day, a lot of days about raising money. A lot of days about recruiting. Can you recruit a good engineer on your team? The next day, having to wade through regulatory documents from the FDA. Next day, worrying about, can you get a lease on this building that you really would like your engineers to be sitting in? Someday, do you have enough chargers for your employees to plug in their electric cars? So, I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of bubble up to the CEO position, and so you have to be very flexible and you have to be a five-tool player to that extent. And you got to be a good people person. So I think on average, it pays to be a pretty good people person, be able to read people, be sympathetic to them, and try to focus on their problems, not your own problems. So that would be, if that's one of the five-tool attributes, I think I have some skills there.
Well, I think the skill sets that you mentioned, they are a mixture of the rational man and the intuitive man. And without those two joining, you will not be able to have all these things going on. For example, an entrepreneur better be courageous, taking decisions that are, the outcome is not obvious, right? I see myself as a five-tool inventor, because I have done all of those aspects that are part of the five-tool, but I also go beyond, and not because I want to be more, but because that doesn't cover everything. There is also the heart, and there is also the courageous ethics that comes from what we call the belly, but is only metaphorical, of course. We are more than just technology and science and even entrepreneurship. We are humans. We are beings of light.
As you go along being an engineer, you aren't necessarily an entrepreneur. How you start and grow an enterprise, entrepreneurship, is not necessarily a thing you're thinking about. I had gone through the process of inventing 3D printing, the early stages, and the president of the company was not a great supporter of that. And so I started thinking that as time passed, I might need to have some entrepreneurship knowledge. So I was in the Pasadena area. Caltech had a really good program called the Enterprise Forum, where periodically, like once a month and maybe more often, entrepreneurs would present their business plans to a group of experts in finance, marketing, law, and so forth. And then after that presentation, they would all critique, that's a good plan, but, or, I would do it differently, here's what you're doing wrong. So I had that capability, but I didn't have how would you actually start a business, how would you grow a business, and so forth. So now and then I would mention to my boss, the president, that would be an interesting product for the company to develop. We'd have a 3D printer we could sell. And so about the time of the patent issue, of course, I had been studying entrepreneurship, and then I had all my business planning capabilities. So I put together a business plan. What would we have to do? How much time? How many dollars to have a product? So I presented that to the president, and he wouldn't buy it. He said, that's more money than I have. I don't want to do that. Shortly after that, I proposed to him, why don't I spin out a company to do this? I'll start a new company to do this. I know we just got this patent, you own that patent, I'll license that patent back from UVP. And so this led to some discussions. Ultimately, we agreed to do that. Yeah, so that was, spinning out a company to start 3D printing. That's a major change in life, something I had never done before. Once you decide you're going to start a new company like that, it takes a lot of effort. It's hard work and a lot of time. And then you really have to stick to it. You have to persevere. And probably one of the biggest elements, I guess, is confidence. You have to have self-confidence and confidence that the idea and the concept are going to fly and that you're going to get a good new business established.
I think it is rare, and more often it's not a single individual, but maybe an individual forming a team that allows an invention to have a wide impact, to be able to be patented, commercialized, and apply successfully.
To realize the potential of something, I think that it requires a very high level of expertise. And it's hard to develop that expertise in multiple different areas. So that's why we need organizations, we need people with different backgrounds.
Among the three of us, we all dabble in all 5 tool areas, but perhaps Eric hits all 5 completely.
I think the concept of diversity and experience in a lot of areas is key to success, and impact equals innovation plus relevance. There are a lot of innovative ideas all around the world. Everyone has innovative ideas, but connecting them to relevant real-world problems is hard, and you need both to have impact. So I think this concept of 5 tool players, either through an individual having exposure in all those areas or through a team of people, it helps really focus your activities in ways that can have significant impact.
There's a lot of emphasis on invention. And invention is extremely important, of course, but the process of actually having an impact is very long and complex. So there's invention, there's protecting the invention. The role of the patent office is extremely important for business, but also the development of the invention, the marketing, the acceptance in a broader community, broader utilization, extension to international outside the US. These are all very complex milestones that really requires a high degree of expertise.
Collaboration is, of course, very important. I think with things being so specialized and knowledge being so broad and deep, it's very hard to have a single person that knows the best solution for everything. So almost anything worthwhile requires teamwork now. And you have to be always on the lookout for networking, assessing people who are potential team members, having good relationships, and work on forming teams. Sometimes I wait years or a decade to start a project because it takes that long for me to find all the necessary people at the right time that they're free to work on something. And you have to be willing to share credit as well.
To be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have a lot of patience, for one thing. I think a lot of people expect instant gratification, and that doesn't happen. It maybe happens 1 in a million times, but it's usually a very slow process, very incremental, and you have to be very patient and accept the little wins here and there and keep building and building and building and building. And it takes years and years of hard work before you likely have that aha moment where it takes off. And if you don't have the patience to ride that out, you'll never succeed. I think it's just a personality trait. You have to have patience to ride things out, and you still may fail, but you certainly won't succeed if you don't have that patience to wait the natural time it takes. It's hard to accelerate innovation. It kind of happens at a certain pace. Being a successful inventor, you have to have that innate creativity and curiosity. If you aren't a curious person, you're not going to invent anything. I mean, inventions come out of curiosity. So you have to be curious. You obviously have to have the tool bag and the tools necessary to execute on that curiosity. So being smart helps, whether that is smarts you gain just from reading a lot or whether it's from getting your education, earning your degrees, but somehow you have to have that background to create the tools necessary to execute on your curiosities.
Am I a 5-tool inventor? I think that's probably true. I've used science and engineering in everything I've done. Decoding the natural world to find new products to control pests and increase crop growth is not easy. So you've got to be able to use science and technology and engineering to be able to solve those problems. I'm lucky that I've had good teams to do that, not just me. And the products that I've developed have gone on to be quite big products. There are products in Walmart and Target for gardeners now. There's one product that was discovered from under a peach orchard in Fresno County, California, that is now the leading product in its category, biological fungicide for controlling molds and mildews. And products that I developed at my previous company, Marone Bioinnovations, are very much breakthrough products in controlling insects, nematodes, plant diseases, and they're very growing quickly around the globe. And all the products I've developed through my career are still on the market, growing or enduring. So from that standpoint, that does contribute to being a 5-tool inventor. And I've now on my 4th company. I founded 4 companies. This 4th one, why would I start them again after doing 3 previous ones that were sold by the investors to larger companies? Because there's always more problems to solve, new things to invent. And what's so exciting is the new science and technology that we have today, like artificial intelligence, machine learning, precision fermentation, and advanced genomics to apply to be able to decode that natural world even better than ever. And we can hire a whole crop of new young scientists and engineers to help us do that. It's very exciting to see the next generation and me being able to help train them to create new products again. In this case, the latest company solving really big problems and controlling invasive species, which not a lot of people are focusing on. And I love to mentor and help guide entrepreneurs, especially female entrepreneurs and first-time entrepreneurs and those who have PhDs who are technical entrepreneurs, and help them through the commercialization of products, because that's really what you want to see with your inventions.